Good morning. Today is Monday, April 13th, our 16th day of stay-at-home school and the beginning of our 4th week. You'll notice this one's entitled Episode 16 and there is no Episode 15. That was the Friday before spring break and I just took an extra day off. So today is officially the first day of the 4th quarter in Placentia Unified School District. I urge you to check emails from your teachers, see if there's any new work for the beginning of the semester, and enjoy the show. All right, since it's Monday, we have a new letter of the week. And the letter of the week today is V. So to draw a V or to write a V, here's my happy face. I always start at the top. And this time we're going to do 2 diagonals, kind of like the middle of our letter from before, the M. Do you see a hidden V inside the M? I like that sometimes our letters are hiding in other letters. Anyway, to draw it, you're going to go diagonal down to the bottom. Do not lift your pen and diagonal back up. Diagonal, 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 diagonal. Please try to make sure that you're not too close or that you're not too far away. It really just comes with practice. So you want to make sure that your space in between is about like that. Not too far, not too close. And try when you make your diagonals, especially at the bottom, to make them as straight as you can. You don't want any noodles. And you don't want any that kind of go like that, because then it starts looking like another letter. If your V is not perfectly straight on the sides, it starts to look like the letter U. So these are not my favorites. Now when you're doing a lowercase v, it's just like a capital V, only it's shorter. So here's my happy face, and I'm starting at the dotted line. I'm going all the way down to the solid line and all the way back up to the dotted line. 2 diagonals. 2 diagonals. Do not have your V hanging in the air, and do not start your V somewhere down there or somewhere up here. You want your lowercase v's to start at the dotted line, go back to the dotted line. Start at the dotted line, go back to the dotted line. These are not my favorites. Ugh. This isn't my favorite either. I'm going to try one more time to do 2 really good V's. My capital V, I start at the top, diagonal to the bottom, diagonal back to the top. That's a pretty good one. And start at the dotted line, diagonal to the bottom, diagonal to the top. Try your best. This is an easy letter to work on. And the next thing we're going to do is we are going to find the letter V. Now I already have my board set up for my list of things that I find with the letter V. I walked around my house a little bit and I found some really good suggestions for the letter V. The first thing I found is something that my son plays. I found a violin. Violin. Remember, V makes the V sound. So I'm going to write violin. The next thing I found was, Adam, it's that little card, little tiny card, yep. I found the color, now I know you guys are going to say purple, but another word for purple is violet. Violet. Ooh, that looks a lot like violin in the beginning. Violet is a good color, and it also starts with V. Bring me the bowl. The last thing I found in my house was this giant bowl of vegetables. I found a lot of vegetables, so I'm going to have to write vegetables. And I always remember it like this: veggie table. And since there's more than one, I'm going to put vegetables. So those were my 3 things I found with the letter V. I really look forward to you finding some things with the letter V, and if you do, I'm hoping you email me a list to dddisney2@yahoo.com so we can add to my list of words that begin with the letter V. Okay, so we're going to be writing our number 8 today. Practice writing. Now normally in your wet dry try or in your chalkboards or your magnet boards at school, we have a smiley face in the corner because we always start in the upper left hand corner when we make our letters and numbers. But today I want you to realize that this is one of those times that we're actually going to move the smiley face over to the middle, because when you start to make your number 8, you're going to want to start in the middle of your board, go round, kind of like the letter C, go round like a backwards letter C, go round like you're starting a C from the bottom, and go round. So we're going to go around, 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 around. You do not want to make 2 zeros, because if you don't get them just right, there's this weird space in between. Not the way you should make them. We want to go a little letter C around, a little backwards letter C around, then back up to the middle with an upside down C and a backwards upside down C. Now when I go a little faster, you'll see an 8 the way you're used to it. This one's kind of fat because I was showing the different C's. See if you can make, and we want to go from the top line to the bottom line. We don't want our 8s floating in the middle. I know that's the toughest part. Around, around, and around, around. Try making at least 8 really good 8s. So far I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 really good 8s. I don't like these 8s, so I'm not going to count them. Here's my number 7. Around and around. And I bet I can fit another one on this line. Around and around. And I have some really good 8s. As usual, you may want to have someone in your family circle what they think is your best 8. I'll have my son look at mine and he can decide what's my best 8. Oh, he chose a good one. And that's all we're going to do today for the number 8. Well, since today is Monday, we're going to write a letter to your teacher. Today, the teacher I've chosen is a friend of mine whose name is Miss O. So, dear Miss O. She's got a longer name, but she goes by O. You put a period because that tells us she's got a longer name. How are you? I'm starting right off with a question. What did you do for spring break? Since you guys all had a week off, maybe she did something fun. Did the Easter Bunny come to your house? I want to know. And then, because I asked a bunch of questions, I should probably answer some of them. I am good, but bored sometimes. The bunny came to my house. And brought me flowers and toilet paper. He is so funny. And that's all I'm going to write. Love. Remember, Super Preppies, this is your part to do. L-O-V-E and your name, because you should be practicing writing your name. Love, Miss Mary. Now, of course, since I wrote about what the Easter Bunny brought me, I think that I'm going to draw what the Easter Bunny brought me. So here is my flower vase, and I'm going to stick a whole bunch of flowers in it. And next to it, silly Easter Bunny, I can't believe he brought me this. I'm going to draw a squished O with another squished O inside, 2 straight lines, and a curved line at the bottom. Doesn't that kind of look like toilet paper? Now, my toilet paper that I got from the Easter Bunny had a big bow on it. So I'm going to put that. And just so you guys can see, that's what the silly Easter Bunny brought me. He also brought me some really, really pretty flowers. So I'm going to go like this and throw in some flowers. And let's see, there was a flower that I'm just going to leave the stems up, and I'll show you why in a minute. And then what I really liked is that at the top of mine was an Easter egg with bunny ears and a cute little smiling face on it. So I'm going to draw that, and then I need to get some colors in here. Now, there were some violet flowers, and they were little flowers like this, so I didn't draw them. I'm just going to draw them with my crayons. And there were some yellow flowers. And I'm looking at them now, and I see that there's some really bright orange flowers. Oh, I didn't draw enough flowers, so let me draw another flower there. There were some light purple flowers, and then some dark purple flowers. Oh, that didn't turn out too dark. And they all had green stems on them. Let's see, I need another yellowish orange flower, and we'll put another one right there. Let's see, I'm looking at my flowers so I get a good idea of what they all look like. Oh, there was a giant reddish orange flower. I really liked that one. And it had kind of a yellow inside to it, so I'll try and put some yellow inside. Okay, well, and then my Easter Bunny had yellow colors inside his ears and a really cute pink bow at the top of his head. It's kind of hard to see that. Anyway, there is, oh, almost forgot the ribbon on my toilet paper. It was a silly light blue. So I showed Miss Doe what I got from the Easter Bunny. Maybe you can show your teacher what you got from the Easter Bunny. Well, today we have a really good story. I know you all remember the mouse from If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. I honestly don't have that book, but I do have a bunch of books by Laura Numeroff. She's the author of If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. And Felicia Bond, she's the lady that does these wonderful pictures. I have 5 of them, so we're going to read a different book from this author every week, or every day this week. And this is what we're doing on Monday. If you take a mouse to school. Since I kind of miss school, and I figured you guys miss school too, we'll look at a book about a mouse that goes to school. Here is a great picture of the mouse. He's still asleep. If You Take a Mouse to School by Laura Numeroff and Felicia Bond. I absolutely love the pictures in these books. If you'll look carefully, you'll see the boy on the refrigerator with his mouse. And oh, I remember this picture. That was the mouse family from the If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. And over here, I'll see the boy is getting the mouse ready for school. The page says, if you take a mouse to school, he'll ask you for your lunchbox. When you give him your lunchbox, he'll want a sandwich. Oh, there he goes in the box. And a snack for later. Then he'll need a notebook and some pencils. Wow, that notebook's bigger than the mouse. And the pencils are too. He'll probably want to share your backpack too. What is that he's playing with in the backpack? I see something coming out of the backpack. I'm going to try to follow it. Oh, I know what that is. Do you guys know what that is? When you get to school, he'll put his things in your locker and take a look around. I have a feeling no one's really reading in this picture. If you ask me, they're all watching the mouse. But it's pretty cool. He might do a little math and spell a word or two. That's a lot of math. And those are some very big words. Oh my goodness. He's very advanced. He'll even try a science experiment. Oh, he's making a volcano. Then he'll need to wash up. You'll have to take him to the bathroom. Oh my goodness. Look here. Everyone's still watching the mouse, but he doesn't have his clothes on. Oh no. Once he's nice and clean, look, he made the water purple from the volcano. He'll be ready for his lunch. On the way to the lunchroom, he'll see some building blocks. Does your teacher have building blocks? I bet they do. He'll build a little mouse house. Wait a minute. Is that a little mouse house? My goodness, that's a huge mouse house. And the friends are still watching him. And make some furniture out of clay. Oh my goodness, he looks comfortable in there. Wow, if he had just borrowed the furniture from your preschool dollhouse, then he wouldn't have had to make it out of clay. But that's pretty neat. What I like is that he's got a rope that leads up to his bedroom. Pretty comfortable. Then he'll need some books for his bookshelf. He'll start by writing one of his own, so he'll need lots of paper. He'll probably use up all your pencils. When he's finished, he'll want to read his book to you. His book is called Good Night Mouse by Mouse. Then he'll want to take the book home, so he'll put it in your lunchbox and tuck it in a safe place. Do you see where he's tucking the lunchbox? You might want to remember that. When the bell rings, he'll run out to wait for the bus. I see a bunch of kids running out, but where's Mouse? There he is. He's at the front of everyone running out. While he's waiting, he'll play a quick game of soccer. Then he'll ask you to shoot a few baskets. Oh my goodness. And do a little skateboarding. Oh my, look at him. He is having so much fun flying off the end of that skateboard. When he stops to catch his breath, he'll want to eat his snack. So he'll ask you for your lunchbox. Look at his face. I think he just remembered. And chances are, if he asks you for your lunchbox, you'll have to take him, where did they go? Back to school. He's got a really cool snack here. He's got cookies, just like if you give a mouse a cookie book. And he's reading his own book. Remember, it's called, do you remember what it's called? Good Night Mouse by Mouse. And that's the end. Well, since we have the letter V this week and it's spring, I decided that instead of working in the kitchen, we would plant some vegetables. So if you can get a hold of some seed packets from your local grocery store or Walmart, or even if you have some in your house, even if they're over a year old, they should be fine. And I made some markers just using a pencil and a note card stapled together, and I wrote down what's going to be in the plants, so you may want to do that before you come outside. So here we are in my garden. You can see I already have a lot of things growing. I already have a tomato plant here, but these are red tomatoes, and I decided that I was going to plant some yellow tomatoes. They're really yummy. In order to do this, now because it rained so much last week and yesterday, I don't have to do too much. I can literally just poke my finger in the ground. But if your ground is harder, get a little shovel and break up the dirt. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our finger and we're gonna poke some pretty big holes, ones that I can see. Oh, there's a little bug. And I'm gonna try and do it in a straight line. All right, and then when I go to open my package, I already know where to put the seeds. It's pretty easy. Now, tomato seeds are very small. Can you guys see these? Very small. I'm gonna put in a couple in each one, 2 or 3 in each hole. Don't want to put too much, friends. If you put like 10 or 20 in there, you're gonna have a whole bunch of plants trying to grow in a small space. Let me cover them up. And I'm going to have to give them a good soaking. So here's my yellow tomato sign, and I'm gonna stick it right here. And I'll put my extra seeds away because I'm not gonna use them all here. And now for my squash plants, yummy squash. I'm gonna, well, before I open them, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm going to poke some holes in the ground with my finger. It's been so rainy that I can really get away with this. Oh, guys, look what I just found. This is awesome. Let me see if I can pull him out. I just found a worm. Now this is really good for soil. Worms help aerate the soil and make the soil healthy for seeds to grow. So I'm gonna put him right back in. He's doing a great job for me. Okay, I got my holes for my squash. So now I can open my squash, and you're gonna see these seeds are a little different. They look like pumpkin seeds. And that's because squash is like a cousin of pumpkins. So I'm gonna stick a couple in there, in each one. Oh, there's the 2 for the worms. Okay, and I'm gonna cover them up, each one, pat them down a little bit. Now guys, I'm looking forward. Here's my squash sign. I'm gonna stick my squash sign right here. I'm looking forward to you guys sending me pictures. You have to water them every day the first 2 weeks. Not a lot of water. Think of like glue, dot, dot, not a lot. But you wanna keep the ground wet for at least 2 weeks to allow the plants to start growing. When you see plants poke out of the ground, please send me pictures. Well, we're back inside. Good luck growing your vegetables, vegetables. And now it's time for the website of the day. Now I'm gonna go back and say my website of the day is YouTube, but specifically there's a part of YouTube I would like you to check out. Of course, I think it's important that we practice the months of the year and the days of the week and the cool letter songs and Go Noodle and all the stuff I mentioned before. But if you're getting tired of looking at the same old dogs and the same old cats and the pets that you have around your house, or maybe you don't have pets and you miss looking at pets, I'm going to suggest that you go on YouTube today and look at what are called live cams or live cameras. You can see my list right here. There's quite a lot. If you like panda bears, you can go to just go to YouTube and Google Atlanta, or type in the search on YouTube, Atlanta Zoo Panda Cam. If you like jellyfish, the Monterey Bay Aquarium has a jelly cam. If you like sharks, the Aquarium of the Pacific has a Shark Lagoon cam. If you like bald eagles, you can look at the Raptor Resource Project Decorah Eagles. San Diego Zoo has a butterfly cam. And this is really cool. This is actually in someone's yard. The Bella Hummingbird Nest. If you like more animals you wouldn't see at home, we have the Impala Live African Watering Hole. You never know what's going to show up. And the Seattle Aquarium has a sea otter cam. Now this is just a tiny version of the different websites and webcams that are out there on YouTube. If you put in the search engine animal live cams, you're going to see a whole bunch. There's giraffes, there's pretty much everything. So I suggest that you guys go check out a few live cams, really see some new and interesting animals. Maybe start out each morning with a different live cam and see what the animals are doing. I've been hearing that a lot of zoos and aquariums are saying that the animals miss people. They show up when the zoo trainers come and the feeders come, and they're so excited that they don't see people walking around the zoo and they miss them. So, although they won't know you're watching, I think you should check out a really good live animal cam. Well, that's all I have for today. I'll see you tomorrow.